and just waiting for things to get underway. But how's everybody doing? All right, looks like we're live. Looks like we are ready. Moving some stuff around on my desk, and we should be good to go. All right, so welcome. My name is Jared. This is Engineering the Markets. It is August 19th, 2021. Let's go ahead and take a look at yesterday and talk about the market as it is today. Um, Quick note, yesterday we were going to sort of use this session as a quick comparison between maybe some potential crypto related scenarios. We're going to take a look at some similar charts and sort of think about um, potential, if then scenarios, bullish, bearish cases. And ultimately, with what's going on in the US dollar, talk about how strength and weakness in the US dollar may dictate some of those cases being more or less likely. But things have changed. The market has given us some volatility. And ultimately, I think it's going to be more pertinent to discuss what occurred yesterday and how to move forward today, along with potentially Friday, kind of setting up for the weekly close in the market, along with how tomorrow occurs, dictating how we may want to consider trading moving forward. So, with that said, we're going to shift into yesterday's price action and talk about a few things relevant to today's session. So, yesterday, as most of us are aware, we did have FOMC minutes come out, and the market overall was a bit choppy leading into this period. We didn't really see a lot of conviction, both bullish or bearish. But overall, we did have a market that was trading below yesterday's close or 2 days ago close at this time. So we had a relatively weaker market, just kind of consolidating, and the volatility from Tuesday's session was notable. So we were trading sort of mid range. As we got information about the FOMC minutes, and as that volatility came into the market, we saw sort of a typical reaction, an initial pop, a pretty sharp drawdown, just setting up sort of some price exploration ranges for us to consider. And then ultimately, a pretty sharp recovery bounce, ultimately thinking that maybe we were starting to just sort of stabilize back into our previous range. We might end the day a little bit lower, but ultimately just finding that chop zone and somewhat settling as an inside day. Well, the market, of course, did not do that. During the FOMC minutes, or after reading some of the minutes and the details, I think the main stay point that was announced was we were starting to get some potential timelines that the committee was starting to become more agreeant upon with regards to tapering, specifically bond purchasing. Now, the Fed does do different types of asset purchasing. They are responsible for purchasing currently mortgage-backed securities, so MBS products, and that's less going to affect the market as a whole unless we had some sort of larger instability inside of the housing market. But the tapering specific to the equity market, and the one that is of more concern short term, is of course a tapering of bond purchasing. And when it comes to that, we want to talk about how currently there's been sort of this draw to the equity market, given the fact that the yield and the performance of the equity market is significantly much more attractive based around the fact that the bond appreciation is muted. Um, we've looked at bond prices from a relatively short time frame, but overall, this marketplace has been somewhat suppressed by the activities of the Fed. And the idea of tapering some of those asset purchases, along with the overall monetary policy that we're currently in, those activities are what the market currently seems to be the most sensitive to. They're looking for when is sort of that time frame ending, and ultimately, do we need to adjust the pricing in the marketplace based around that change? So yesterday, as we finally did get some amount of a timeline towards that, the market seemed to respond in tandem. Now, as with everything, we want to treat this as short term, a bit of an overreaction. We saw significant selling into the close, and ultimately, from a technical perspective, we want to talk about what has occurred on the chart. I'm going to go ahead and add back in our normal moving averages and just talk about some of the dynamics around the structure of the market. Past two sessions before yesterday, we had this potential breakout that was showing itself with a bit of volume. Now, it's an elevated breakout. It's above near all-time highs. And of course, we were not seeing that same volume conviction when we broke out of this prior range. The market seemed to sort of slowly creep higher and then all of a sudden have this sharp volume climax. That led immediately into the next session, which was an odd sort of back test back to this middle range and ultimately holding in the spot it was supposed to. It held the 20 period, it held the upper end of the range, but it had occurred after what we thought could be an ignition candle. The idea is that if buyers were strong here, why did we not open up either higher or at least in the upper portion of Monday's candle? Why did we need the back test? If that was, the case, if we wanted to head higher, technically those things should not be required. So this test, while significant in terms of where we stopped to the downside, ultimately was an odd thing to see. It wasn't normal relative to the setup inside of the technical chart. And then, of course, with yesterday's activity, we have invalidated either scenario. We've invalidated the idea that that breakout was going to continue, along with the fact that the back test did not hold. We had a closure below our upper support zone, which was a previous resistance of the range, and we obviously closed mid-range, albeit we see additional selling this morning all the way back down to the lower end of the range. So those technical signals are no longer valid, and we need to start considering what's next. If something fails, if something doesn't set up accordingly, what's the next scenario? So now we shift into, let's look back in time and see what has been working for this market so far. During periods of volatility, we see that the most likely spot for the market to rebound is much closer to the 50 period. And as we are getting into this area today, we're going to be watching to see what occurs here. Ultimately, every time we've recovered the 50, the marketplace has seen new all-time highs. So as far as a pattern is concerned, this has been one of the best structural support zones on a trending market to utilize as a bounce point. Now, it can be challenging during these periods to ultimately step into the selling. And ultimately, there have been times where we've tested twice before seeing new all-time highs, along with this period here not necessarily seeing the new high until a third test occurred. But just like we have with other trade ideas, we want to consider that this could occur again. It hasn't failed at this point, and ultimately, since the pre-election time frame, which was a relatively choppy period of the market, this has been the case so far. So until that fails, we want to consider that that is a possibility. We'll come down to this area, find some support, and this can be an intraday idea as well as a swing trade idea. Find some support, have a rebound. We might see a secondary test. It was a bit volatile yesterday, and ultimately the news is one of concern. But if that occurs, then we want to be prepared for that rebound. Now, for those who have shorted this market, the idea follows the same scenario. If you are already short in some form, you may want to consider sizing down or ultimately taking profit at a zone that the marketplace has yet to invalidate as a bounce point, as a support zone. For someone like myself, I personally do have some short base positions into this sell-off. And I will be looking today to find those opportunities to either take profit or potentially size down from a much larger short position. But moving much more into the higher time frames, now we're going to talk about let's see what has truly occurred, and let's talk about some alternate scenarios, the case where the thing that has happened in the past does not happen again. And this is where things can ultimately get the most volatile, albeit we are entering a period of volatility. So I'd like to start off with the SPX. This is, once again, the index that ultimately dictates the price of the SPY. And when it comes to the option market, this is the Mac Daddy of them all. It has some of the largest notional value in terms of option positioning, and because it is the S&P 500 index, it's also a marketplace that a lot of participants actively trade within, both retail and institutional. When you're looking at a product with this much option volume, whenever certain conditions occur, this marketplace is responsible for dictating some of the, I would say, effects that we may see across the board. And because this one represents 500 of our top stocks, it will ultimately start to dictate what sort of response we might see in the next couple of days. Now, I've gone ahead and marked off the expected move for this week. If you recall from previous sessions, the expected move is what option pricing is dictating the normal standard deviation of expected movement will be in that week. If that is true, 68.3% of the time, we're going to see the S&P 500 index close somewhere within that range. And if you look back in time, I don't have this one marked off, but it is a close in between the expected move. Most of the time, the market does like to trade within this area. This is information that you can find as soon as the market closes on Friday. All you have to do is look into the future Friday option series and mark off what the expected move is based on the close of the SPX. So last week we closed at 44.68, and we were coming into the week with a very suppressed $50 expected move for the SPX. which gave us an upper expected move range of about 45.18 and a lower expected move range of about 44.18. What was problematic about this expected move was, one, we were coming into a fairly compressed week in terms of the expected move range. 50 points is not a lot for the SPX. And secondly, because we had this binary event inside of this week, the marketplace really didn't price the movement very well. Ultimately, even if we had gotten volatile to the upside, $50 did not seem like a significant range for the marketplace to cap its risk. People were not necessarily putting in the right parameters in terms of the option market. And usually that can be confirmed whenever we start to breach outside of the expected move during the week. Now, that's in the past. We've seen this breakdown in the market, and so far we have closed below the expected move. What I've gone ahead and done is I've marked off markers. These are ranges to the downside that dictate the expected move if you were to expand it by a factor of 2 and a factor of 3. The idea here is that in statistical probabilities and analysis, the standard deviation is your most likely scenario. The marketplace will often close within those parameters, and ultimately there's a reason why bell curves are sort of nicely distributed, is because a lot of the price action occurs somewhere in those ranges. But there are times when we expand. Those are more anomalous events. They often are less probable, but when they occur, we want to pay attention because it means something is different, something is new, and it's an outlier type event. What we have currently, and the fact that the SPY, the Spider ETF, has already opened slightly lower than where the SPX currently is showing, we've already hit a 2 sigma expected move during this week. The 2 sigma move is that 2 times expansion of this range, and it's simply adding another 50 points to the downside, showing us that we are way outside of our normal risk parameters in terms of the option market. This 43.68, we look at the SPY and we sort of mark off that same area on a short time frame. 43, we'll just move this slightly higher to about the 60s. We can see that the marketplace is starting to just kind of chop in this area. Ultimately, if we pull up a larger time frame, there are some actual support zones here at the lower end of the range, and the market is responding to some previous supply and demand imbalances in this area. So ultimately, we're at a spot that both the option market and a previous technical range are dictating as important. We are also coming into, once again, that 50 period moving average. We're not quite there yet, but we are pretty close. So when you talk about confluence of different analysis ideas and whether the marketplace may respond, there's quite a lot of confluence where we currently are opening, or at least where we're currently trading at this time. Now, all that said, you know, we've kind of covered some different ideas here. The SPX is at sort of a stretched rubber band approach. We're outside of normal expectation, normal being a rubber band that has really no tension. Marketplace is doing normal things, a rubber band sitting on your desk. Now we've expanded. The rubber band's being stretched, being tested. And ultimately, what a marketplace or a rubber band likes to do is as soon as that pressure comes off, it likes to return to normal. If we see this week closing back above 44.18, or ultimately coming close to its expected move sort of downside range, since we've broken out to the downside, that would be a fairly normal reaction. Marketplace got a bit overextended from the option perspective, from the pullback in the SPY to the 50 period. If we get a bounce, ultimately the technical structure is all saying that about 44, we'll just call it 441 in the SPY, that area is important. It also correlates quite well with another sort of psychological price level, which is about 15,000 in the NDX. So whatever the Qs are trading at around that price, you're going to want to also be looking for the NASDAQ to sort of return to normal. And that would be a return back to 15,000. So that's our bullish case. That's the case where this was an overreaction. Marketplace wants to buy the dip. And ultimately, if the dip buyers are in control from this period forward, they're going to show their hand in the next couple of days. They're going to react to this drawdown, this overextension, and they're going to have some significant price discovery near the 50 period, near the bottom of the SPY range, and ultimately near the 2 sigma move in the SPX. That's the bullish case. The neutral case is that we might chop. We might simply not have a direction for the next couple days. It might be a bit sort of muted in terms of price, ultimately not decisive one way or the other as markets try to anticipate what's next, because we did get some new information. But now let's pull up the bearish case, because we do have a strong selling candle yesterday, and ultimately we have not seen any sort of confirmation yet to the upside. So let's talk about the scenario where the marketplace continues to sell. If that were to occur, let's look at our NASDAQ, and we'll just look at the Qs. Similar thesis here. We're coming into the 50. We're coming into a spot that the marketplace has reacted to before, and ultimately this drawdown is not super large relative from high to low. So if buyers are finding this opportunity, once again, they should react. But if we start putting some potential closure below the 50, something like this period here, where we started to see the price react above, and then we got strong additional selling pressure below. Right now, the NDX is within a channel, and the same with the Qs. The NASDAQ itself is in a price channel. Very clear support level lows on the most volatile of sell-offs. Multiple reactions confirming that this is a demand zone. And if the market does continue to sell, the NASDAQ has the potential to come back and test this channel low. Depending on how fast that occurs, and ultimately how this coincides with this trend line, that can bring us down for the NASDAQ approximately to the 340, depending once again on how fast it occurs. It could easily expand out in time. That ultimately allows the trend line to kind of play catch up in price. So in those scenarios, ask yourself, are you prepared for that sort of downside? Is your portfolio structured in such a way that you can handle a downside move like that? And if you think it can't happen, then you have to ask yourself, well, it's happened in the past. This is not something that the market has not done before. Hence, it is speculation or just almost a projection of potential opportunity. Marketplace has done this. We've seen elevated prices way above the 20, collapsing the 20, finding chop at the 50, and collapsing further, setting up this trend line and ultimately confirming what was already present in the past. Ultimately, this was a great buying opportunity, but until we got there, just know where we came from. We came all the way from all-time highs back to this level. There is no reason not to think that this could not happen again. It is simply a thesis that the marketplace has presented before and ultimately confirmed with previous price action. You can even see that during this bounce, we didn't even make new all-time, we did make new all-time highs, but as soon as we tested them, we had to once again return to this area, and significantly notable again, we invalidated the 50 a second time. So keep these scenarios in mind as you're trading throughout the rest of the week and potentially into next week. Every time we get these drops, the marketplace is sort of giving us scenarios to consider. If things are overreaction, if things an overreaction, then we should see the right type of buying at the right support zones. I would start with the SPY. I would start with the reaction that we're going to get off the 50. And ultimately, you do not have to be first in line. Even if you wait for confirmation, and ultimately, if you put your risk underneath the 50 period, the previous reaction zone, then you can take part in what potentially could be the next bounce or the next wave higher, if it occurs. If you're wrong, and ultimately the market sells off lower, your risk is tight, which is the entire purpose of being a trader, finding good risk reward scenarios, imbalance in the market, and taking advantage of it. If you're at this price level and it fails, understand what the risk parameters are and understand it would be the first time it's occurring across multiple attempts in the past. So think about what that may do to the psychology of the market and ultimately the trend structure, which will have at that time start to erode and the thesis for the long starts to kind of be challenged. Same basic idea here for the trend line. You know, you want to find these reactionary points. Doesn't have to be necessarily perfect, but something like this is kind of what we're working with. Is why this is going to be such an important next couple of days. Market has already come from all-time highs back to a point that it's supposed to bounce from. The question now is, will it bounce? And ultimately, are you prepared for if it does not? Those are the questions you should be thinking about for the next couple of days, depending on your exposure to the market. If you're an intraday trader, today might be super volatile. We might see some nice bounces off of this area on an intraday time frame. Very simple sort of 15, 60-minute type bounces that have some follow through because ultimately there's demand here. But longer term, swing trade related, sector related, and we haven't even talked about how correlated the selling was yesterday. You look across all of your sectors, pretty much every sector is closing at the lows. XLF is at the lows. XLK is at the lows. Healthcare, our strongest sector, closing with an engulfing downside bar after 4 days of upside activity. Keeping in mind that even the strongest sectors need pullbacks. Imagine if the healthcare sector were to pull back just to its 20 period on the weekly. Are you prepared for that? XLY, our strongest stock yesterday was Tesla. Of all the stocks in the S&P 500, our strongest name was Tesla. And even that is closing below the 50 with sort of an inverse hammer type of candle. Of course, strong stock kind of held this one up better, but it's coming from a period of previous weakness. So just be thinking about these scenarios. Nothing is for certain at this point, just showing the strength in Tesla. We also had lows, but that's more of an earnings play. I'll just indicate that Tesla was the non-earnings strongest name in yesterday's session. Of course, S&P 500, multiple stocks, but Tesla is the one that matters. And then finally, when I refer to the idea of a failed bounce. What is a final target for something like the S&P? Well, with this scenario, with this rubber band approach inside of the SPX, if you get a 2 sigma move, the marketplace kind of has a binary choice to make. Either we return back to the expected move, lows or highs, depending on which way we broke out. And often if we can return and come back to that sort of normalized risk area, the marketplace stabilizes. We don't see the volatility expand any further. Things like the VIX come down. It's also worth mentioning the VIX is elevated this morning, and we have some potential resistance here at this trend line, but we're at that breaking point once again. But if the marketplace doesn't want to come back, oftentimes what occurs on a 2 sigma move is that if you want to go down even further or up even further, the rubber band snaps. And when that happens, what the marketplace does, the dynamics of the marketplace are that hedging activity has to occur to basically sell into selling. You will see on an intraday time frame, if this occurs, every single bounce attempt is going to be sold into. We're going to fade any recovery pullbacks. It'll look as if the marketplace does not even want to form a bottom, and the selling pressure will be quite heavy. Be prepared for that if we start to continue to break down, because as with most, I would say dip buying scenarios, you're looking for a reason to buy the dip. You're looking for some semblance of support. If those start to break down, marketplace doesn't provide those. It simply sells into selling until all of the risk parameters of the previous expected move are alleviated. And often it'll end in some sort of high volume capitulation event. You will see it very strong sort of waterfall sell-off into like a 3 sigma range, and eventually the marketplace will subside on the selling, leading into once again an intraday opportunity, but a very, very volatile downside move. And that is once again if these things occur. So of course, I wanted to come into this session with the right mentality. We are down, we're still down, and so far we are not seeing strong conviction yet from buyers. If that all these scenarios come into play, just be prepared for what could occur. If it doesn't, then great. The trend continues, the marketplace will bounce, so be it. We'll trade the range until something changes. But if it doesn't, this is the moment to kind of be thinking about how best to prepare yourself for additional downside. Not before it, not after it happens, I should say. Be prepared for it before. So with that said, that's my time. Let's go into the marketplace with that open mind. We have a couple of scenarios that could occur, and we're at some critical points in the S&P. Let's watch and see what happens. And if we still have correlated selling, prepare yourself for additional downside, knowing where your levels are. So trade safe. Let's see what happens today. And ultimately, y'all have a great rest of the week, as I'll be off tomorrow. We'll see y'all on Monday, come early morning, and we'll talk about the eventual price exploration that occurs by the time Monday turns around. So take care, trade safe, and stay tuned for pre-market prep.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Pre-Market Prep. I hope everyone is having an amazing morning. Hope you had a great day yesterday. Good morning, Peter. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Carlos. I'm feeling a little off today, but hopefully the markets will chipper me up.
Straighten you
So,
out.
well, I've learned that on these days where physically I don't feel 100%, I'm best to take things cautiously because I don't tend to manage my risk as effectively as I could otherwise. So I'm going to be cautious today, but the markets look good. I like what I'm seeing, even though they're a little
hmm
depressed. We'll get to that in a second. How are you doing?
Doing good, my friend. And I agree with you 100%. My worst day this month was on a day where I had a very little sleep. And I said, I'm up. I did the pre-market show. Let's trade. That was a
Right.
mistake. Should have done the pre-market show and went to do something else would have been a lot more fun. With that said, guys, let's take a look at the stuff we had yesterday on our list. And speaking of things that do not look, that are not great sometimes, yesterday we had quite a bit of that. Let's start here with TLRY. TRY, let's look our 5 minute from yesterday. This is it right here. Beautiful pre-market action. And actually, TRY was pretty good. Beautiful pre-market action. You can see the drop here coming down. We get this question a lot. What is a rising devil? Here it is, guys. You got the drop coming into the pre-market, right? So to the market open. You get this profit taking. Maybe if you're in short here, you get this little squeeze here. And this is the rising devil. Basically, rising devil wants to come back down to earth or whatever the case may be. So here it is. So you got the rising devil here. This is where you want to go short and look at the drop continuation after you get that rejection. So pretty nice there. And you got an amazing continuation. It's a lot going on here, TRY. You also had a beautiful opening range breakdown, the 5 minute. All right, look at this beautiful pullback to the VWAP. You don't want to get in here just yet because you're never going to time the top, right? It's not going to happen. You're going to be guessing here if you try to do that. But the minute this thing starts coming on the way back down, rejecting off the VWAP and that moving average, anywhere in here, guys, is a great entry to get in on this. Even on the breakout of the 5 minute is good. What you don't want to do is, try to time the top because it can squeeze all the way up and it could be an engulfing pattern going the other way. Right, so you want to wait for that confirmation based on your trade book. You can see here that's a beautiful drop, and then the beautiful continuation here, guys. Beautiful on how this thing plays out. Here you gets a little support there. You can see a little choppiness here, trying to hold on to 13. 20 or something like that, then eventually squeezes back up to the VWAP, and then you get another nice pop there. So again, pretty good start for TRY. Later in the day, it does not do much. Nice sell-off towards the end of the day there on it as it closes out. VIPS was just horrible. Again, active free market action, but man, this thing was just, it was not even tradable. I mean, you can't even watch the thing. It hurt just watching the price action on this one. Here was Apple yesterday. Apple, rough start. I mean, it just kind of hung out this 149.85 level that we had here. Didn't really want to go up or down. Eventually started pushing up higher. Couldn't hold anything there. Then slammed down back to this 150, 149.85. And then from there, the beautiful drop, guys. Just an amazing drop there that continued for almost the entire part of the day on Apple yesterday. So pretty weak there. As you can see, AMC was rough. There's nothing happening here. Very choppy. Not much going on. mRNA has some really good days. Yesterday was not one of them. You had an initial breakout here for a nice short. Not much of a rising devil. Usually the rising devil will be what you saw in TLRY there. This is a little bit different. You do get some rejections of these 410 levels and then the slam down. But again, we definitely have better trading stock. Tesla was probably the only stock yesterday, and Jared talked about this in the pre-market his engineering show earlier, where this thing actually took off and was very strong yesterday. So beautiful breakout here, opening 5 minute range breakup. And SNOA continues to just crush it, guys. Here we've been looking at that one all pre-market since we started at 8 a.m. this morning, and even earlier than that, 7:30 in our chat room. Members start coming in. We start preparing for the pre-market. So Noah breaking 10 now. So here we go, guys. This thing broke out nicely. Beautiful pattern here. Beautiful continuation. Just strong the entire day. Held on to this 9 moving average. And man, that was pretty there on Tesla. After that, obviously big move. Usually stocks, if they don't have more juice, they just kind of tend to just flow around here. We saw that yesterday with a little bit of a sell-off into the close. So again, not a bad day, guys. Some stuff that looked very good, some stuff that was just very crappy, and others that just didn't know what to do. Peter, what's going on with the SPY? Overall news for today.
Well, as you've already said, we're looking at a pullback, which seems to be continuing pre-market. So we're down a little bit. From market news perspective, we do have the jobless claims, which are coming out well any minute now. In fact, I think they're already out. So let's take a look. So actual jobless claims seem to be below forecast, so that's a good thing for the economy. And then we've got at 10 o'clock some economic indicators, and the Fed manufacturing index has also come out. That, however, is lower than forecast, so a little bit of a mixed bag. Will that affect the markets? I don't know. I think we're going to be more affected by overall market sentiment. As Jared has talked about, bonds yields are down, and that's going to be having a drag on the market. Let's see what happens. We got a lot of earnings to keep an eye on today, so that's where I'm going to be focusing one way or the other.
Absolutely. It's going to be a fun day for sure. Thank you so much, Matthew, for the donation there. Just finished Peak Capital Trading Bootcamp, and I totally recommend it for all those that wish to learn day trading. Thanks, BBT. Awesome. Thank you so much for those kind words. Appreciate you very, very much. So as you guys know, any super chat donation, guys, will be matched by Andrew dollar for dollar. And this month's charity is going to be autism. So our goal is $5,000 from you guys, $5,000 from Andrew's pockets, and we can do a nice donation of 10,000. So, and we do have a link ready for our members also here in the chat room, and we're going to be sharing that later today. I just want to confirm with the tech team that it is tested, it's good to go, but we do have it. The page is ready. So if you guys don't want to donate and be part of the amazing cause here, can also do that as well and help us grow that get to that goal. All right, with that said, guys, let's take a look at our gappers list this morning. We'll get rid of some of the stuff on here. Control, here we go, Control A. There it is, Control X, good to go. And let's start with Sanoa this morning. And Sanoa is just on fire. I need to do one quick thing here.
Yeah, so this is a low float. I only see 2 million shares in the float. Yep. Obviously, it's already traded more than its float today. So it's
yes, it has.
Everybody is on board.
Everybody's on board in this one, including myself. I'm actually monitoring another trade, that trade on this other computer here. So that is working out pretty nice. Guys, very active, low flow stock. Be very, very careful. We've been looking at this one all morning, and it has taken off nicely with some amazing volume. 8.8 million shares traded right now and continuing to crush it. So again, the daily's not going to look great on these low flow stocks. What you want to see is just this here, guys. It's beautiful breakouts with volume. I mean, we're at 8 million and almost 9, right? You can see the nice little patterns that it's making, sticking to the moving averages, following some of the happening here. So again, this is trading very well right now. That's the 5 minute. If you look at the 1 minute, which, you know, is where you want to be paying attention, where something can move so aggressive, you can see how great this is trading, right? So it's respecting these levels here. The moving averages looking pretty nice, and it's looking like it's going to break 1025. This thing is just insane. All right, guys.
I'm impressed, Carlos. If you're already in a trade on it, look at you taking over for Norm. Well done.
Someone had to do it, and I'm usually by the time the pre-market starts, if I do take a pre-market trade, I'm out of it, so I can focus. But man, this trade is one that you just don't want to get out right away, because if you have a good entry, because it is just crushing it. $10 bomb, man. Number one fan there. Appreciate your support constantly. Thank you very much. That'll be matched by Andrew. So we'll take $10 from Andrew's pockets right there and match it up for our goal. But Nathan, thank you always with the amazing support, continuously donating here to be able to hit our goal for the charity. So I appreciate that very, very much. Another low flow on deck, MDIA. This one is 1.8 million shares float. Nothing going on here, guys. Doesn't look good at all. No action. Definitely not a SNOA at all. INOV. Oh, horrible, guys. This is nothing happening here. You can see here. It just doesn't look good. Macy's. Macy's. Earnings on Macy's?
Yep, it only hits when it's earnings time. Once again, they did beat their numbers, so analysts are pretty excited about that. That's why it's popping up this morning.
Yeah, I agree. The only time I feel like we talk about Macy's is when we do have earnings. And right now they are, again, very active. 3 million shares. Actually, this is a very active pre-market for them. Even with earnings, I don't remember them having so much volume on previous earnings play. So that could be interesting. We'll put Macy's on here, guys. Let's see where that's going to take us today. BCTX, 12 million shares flow. we see this ticker all the time, guys. It is just not a great ticker at all. I don't like the way it trades. I'm just gonna bypass this one. Let's find something better. GRVI this morning, 5.8 million shares flow. A couple of low floats here this morning. Also, again, you compare this to like a SNOA. This is kind of like what you want to see. What you're seeing in these other ones are not it, right? You have this great volume, you have a pattern, you have a strong movement towards the top. This GRVI doesn't have that. Oh, wait, maybe it's changing. Hold on a second. It's getting a little pop here. Let's see if it can get some momentum. But you get the idea. You want to see something that's trading very actively, and some of these are not showing that right now. But GRVI looks like it wants to get going. GRVI. So we'll see. Only 150,000. That's not going to do it. We need more than that for something that's a 5.8 million shares float. But this is how it starts right here. So if we can continue to get that volume there and increase it, let's see if it can get going. Daily, again, brutal, guys. Doesn't look great. We'll see if things can get up and going here. All right, thank you very much. That is a good one. Let's get Andrew Broke. Love you, BBT. I'll see you in the chat. So Andre is one of our members here, and he just went onto YouTube just to get his thoughts in on there. So thank you so much for that donation. Appreciate you very, very much. All right, with that said, next one on the list, Coles. Is that Coles, KSS? Yes, Coles. Also on the list. I'm assuming earnings as well. Another one that we don't see unless there is earnings.
Yep. Once again, earnings, and they again beat their numbers.
All right. Looking very good here, guys. We'll put it on here. Again, I'm not a big fan of Coles. I like Macy's a little bit better, but they can surprise us today. They're both up nicely. Macy's with some amazing numbers as far as volume. Coles not so much, but we'll see where this takes us. CHRS, this is, wow, this was up as high as 1850, slamming back down to 14. It is not a low flow stock, but it's got some pretty interesting pre-market actions, some after hours actions last night, going up to 20 and then coming back down to earth today. But again, looking at this, looking at the daily and everything else, nothing looks good here for us to kind of day trade. We need to see a whole lot more action than this. And if you look at the volume down here, 1.2 million is the highest they've done in the last 4 or 5 months. So again, not really a stock that I want to watch. All right, not a whole lot from
your typical. Sorry, Carlos, this is your typical biotech that they had a positive phase 3 trial. So you know what happens, right? People get all excited, and that's why this has jumped up.
Yeah. No volume whatsoever on this one, guys. We'll keep this one off the list for now. We can watch in our scanners if it does come up, but I doubt it. It doesn't look good at all. VRPX, man, this thing was wild yesterday. If you guys remember, a pre-market action was very, very strong, but then gave it almost all back in the opening of the bell. So here's again very choppy action. This sell off. Most of the other one that we trade that was very good. We traded with Andrew and Brian. Man, I forget already what we traded. The low flow was very active also. PM, yes.
Yeah, PMCB.
PMCB. Now, this one was one that had a couple of nice pops here. We all got halted. I think the entire community got halted on this one here. And it did break out nicely. I know Brian held for the longer move here, which was nice. And then eventually, I think later in the day, it actually broke out even more to 10. So that was very active. But yeah, VRPX was not fun, man. It was very difficult to trade. Today, they're on our list. They're down 23%. No shares for short with Interactive Brokers, 650,000. Again, that second, third day of action is usually not the best, so I'll keep it off the list for now. SGOC, this one here, guys, is one that does not intraday trade very well. Is audio breaking up for you guys on YouTube? Just want to confirm, it's just Diamond Sunshine, or is it anybody else having issues as well? Just want to make sure the audio is good for everyone. Sounds good over in our chat room. Thank you, Chris. And we'll just wait for you to confirm that it's all good there as well.
I got a few people saying the audio is choppy. They're saying better after refresh. Did you refresh it?
No, I think better after they refreshed. I think that's what they mean.
All
okay.
Right.
All right, cool. It was early audio good. All right, perfect.
All right.
Okay, good. All right, so SGOC, again, not a good intraday trading stock, so I'll keep it off the list. Hood is, I mean, it's I've been watching this one. So I told you guys yesterday, and again, I just don't see good trading patterns on it. They're up today. They're down. Excuse me, 9.1. What's going to be interesting, as I mentioned yesterday, was that they're getting to the price where a lot of analysts have put them at, which is around $45, right? So now we're finally at that price there. We'll have to see how this thing is going to react now. If it's going to even, and far from how it's going to react, is it even going to trade well? Because it hasn't been trading clean at all. No shares for short this morning with Hood there, and as you can see here, the low was a 42.72, climbing up to 45 now. So that could be interesting, maybe a possible, just because we're sitting at that analyst expected price.
And
Yeah.
it is news driven. Hood issued a forecast that said they're anticipating the lower trade volumes coming forth in the forthcoming quarter. I'm trying to say, so that's a big part of why this thing is moving down.
All right, very good. So we'll keep an eye on them. They're down 9.1 right now. Again, not great volume, but again, they just haven't been great to trade. Becky, this morning, they are down 6.6. Pre-market action is not looking all that great. I'm going to skip on it for now, guys. 205, down 6.6. We're kind of stuck between all these levels here. I don't see anything great that makes this one in play this morning. Here's ALF. I don't like the way ALF trades at all. I think it's very, very choppy, and I'll give you an example of that. Yesterday. We had it on our secondary list, but I didn't look at it. Look at this. This is the market open on ALF, right? So it's just pure chop. Somehow they managed to end green, right? A nice green bar here. So you look at the daily, you say, oh man, this is trading well, but you start looking at these intraday candles, and it is just brutal. The move here was done towards the end of the day. Again, just not fun at all. All right. I am going to stop here. I'm going to look at Neo because I think Neo was looking rather interesting on the daily, but right now pre-market, not much going on. 671, very choppy at the moment. So maybe a possible. I do like the dailies. The only reason I'm adding Neo on here just to keep an eye on it. You're getting a nice little support here. It looks like it's trying to hold. We're back down again this morning, 3%. Again to that 37.28 area. Can we hold here? So Neo looking very good this morning. Peter, we'll start with you. What do you like this morning so far?
Well, a couple of earnings just to be aware of. Last night we had earnings from NVIDIA. So NVIDIA beat their numbers and raised guidance. So we're seeing them up marginally this morning, but it hasn't hit the 2% mark, which is why it wouldn't be on our list. But NVIDIA's been in play for the last little while, so it might be worth keeping an eye on if you like trading that. Cisco is not normally a good trader, but they also had earnings last night after the close. They beat their numbers, but lowered guidance, so a little bit of a mixed bag on Cisco, which is CSCO if you're trying to find that. Two others I'll just mention quickly. Billy, BILI, we've certainly watched that. They had good numbers in earnings this morning. And seems to be driving them green a little bit, if I remember. I did take a quick look at it. No, they're red. So they are down this morning despite having good numbers. And last, just because it's fun, Woof, WOOF. If you remember, we did watch this after it IPO'd. I think it's like an online pet food store. Yeah. But anyways, they also had earnings and beat their numbers. It's doing absolutely nothing pre-market, really, but I just like their ticker.
Yeah, he just wants to say their ticker. Yeah, I get it. Yeah. So I got NVIDIA and Billy. I agree with you. Cisco is such a difficult stock to trade, so I'm not going to add that one even on our secondary list. But, they are gapping down this morning, so hopefully somebody else will watch it and you can call something out. You know what? We don't have much here anyways. We can add Cisco as a possible. There's not a lot going on in our main list right now, so we can add that one just to see. You never know. It's one of those hit or miss type stocks that are not easy to intraday trade. Heading to our chat room, let's start with Andre. You're giving us PFE this morning. So let's take a look there on PFE. Had a couple of wild days here. Today they are down 2%. Yeah, I think PFE is definitely in play. I just don't like the way the stock trades at time, but it is in play, guys. Down 2% right now, a 518 after such an incredible run. Another one we can look at is mRNA. mRNA is also in play. They have had better trading days the last couple of days here. Yesterday was not so good. Today they're down 2.5. I do want to keep an eye on them. I think you can also keep an eye on PFE as well, but I would prefer mRNA if they can get going this morning. And Macy's, we do have on deck. Michael's giving us Microsoft. Let's take a look at Microsoft. They are dropping down here. They're down almost at 1%. Could be interesting. 1 million shares traded, though. We got some good volume on Microsoft. Might be worth watching it this morning. Our things are sliding a little bit here. This could be a good one. We know for sure, guys, Apple is one to watch. They're down almost 1%, 1.5. And actually, probably Apple's the one I will watch because Microsoft, it can trade well today, but nothing trades better than Apple when it comes to these tech company guys. Apple is just so good. So easy to get into. The spread is great. The volume is amazing. And just the overall price action, you can tell a very big difference between the price action on Apple, Nvidia, Microsoft. Apple is just very, very nice. So I like this drop here on it today. We'll have to see where this goes. But by all means, I will add Microsoft here because I think they look good too. And their volume this morning of 1 million is actually a lot more than what I've seen in the pre-market action on Microsoft. Do they have anything else going on, Microsoft, besides just overall tech stuff?
Not that I've seen, Carlos.
Okay.
So I don't think so.
Just because the volume just seems very high for that stock at this time.
Yeah,
So
you're right. It is higher than usual, but I don't see anything specific to Microsoft out there, really.
okay. All right, cool. Let's go to Hector. He's giving us BABA this morning. BABA, yes, BABA is in play for sure. We're down 3.5, 672,000. Great action there on BABA, man. These guys are just getting hammered, just getting destroyed here. There's just no support that they're finding, and a lot to do with all the Chinese stuff going on over there with these stocks, right? I don't see any earnings or anything else. This is just dropping. So we'll put it on there. Definitely looks good. Bob is not, I won't say difficult to trade, but is unique. You got to be, you got to have some experience in trading or at least watching that type of price action. So we'll see where it goes. Here is Space down 2.1, 456,000 shares traded. Space has been in this consolidation for some time now, and I don't know if it's really in play at the moment. They're down 2%. Maybe they're trying to lose this level of support here. That's the only thing that I like from it so far. And even when it gets active, I think Space is difficult to trade at times. It can be very choppy. Again, we doesn't have amazing volume here. We have some amazing days out of this, great. But the last couple of days, it has not been all that great. But I like what you're looking at, this possible breakdown.
I was going to say the same thing. The price action the last few days has been pretty quiet. So yeah, it's yes, you might get a potential breakdown. It's hard to day trade it though, because like it could be today, tomorrow, next week, right? You don't know when it's going to happen.
Exactly. So I'm not going to add this one on, guys. We'll have to wait for it to kind of settle down here. Let's head on down over to, I lost my spot. Microsoft, we have, I'll just start here, BABA. We have Space. I'm not going to add. Okay, I think we might have covered everything if I didn't lose my spot all the way here. Yeah, I think we're pretty good. All right, let's go over to our YouTube chat, guys. What do you guys have this morning? You're giving us Hood. We looked at, again, just I have it on here as a possible, not the best intraday trading stock. NL, what is this? NLST? No, this is not good. No volume right now. It's just no. No.
So you're saying no, Carlos?
I am saying no. Yes, I am saying no. I just want to be clear. Sono was active a couple of days ago. It was actually pretty nice. Traded very well. You had a nice little pop here and a nice little drop, and it's been active a couple of times here. This morning, their pre-market action is pretty much dead right now. And I remember this one because somebody called it out, not because it was on our list. Pre-market right now, pretty much dead. Can it get going? Yes, I like the daily. Probably is going to lose this area here. I think this was the day we were watching. It was very active. So I don't see a lot going on in it right now, guys. Volume is just extremely light, only 17,000. We need a little bit more than that to get this going. Futu, the stock that we watched, we talk about a lot, but I usually never end up trading or keeping on my list. This one is down 4.8, 291. Again, this is one of those hit or miss stocks. I think it can move well. It doesn't trade well as far as price action. I don't like it for the way I trade, the stuff I'm looking for. I'm not even sure if members have actually had any great trades on Futu. Have you guys been trading this stuff? Have you guys been able to find some patterns and great trading on it? Let me see if I get some responses here. Big no there. Nope. So no, I don't think anybody has been able to do it. That thumbs down. All right, we got one person that says yes, and more no's as well. Our volume is very low. Yeah. So again, a few people have actually, but I think a lot are saying heck no. All right, so I'm not gonna be watching that one anyways. But guys, Baba is good. Yes, Baba we have. It is in play for sure. I love this drop, and the volume is climbing here. I know pre-market actually we're kind of moving sideways now, but this is a big drop for Baba, and again after continuous a loss of some levels here, I think this is a good one for today. I'm probably going to watch Baba as well on my main list this morning. Usually I take it off, but today looks very good. BIOC, I believe we looked at this before. Okay, starting to get going. What's the float? BIOC. We have a 13 million shares flow. We can add it on here. Yeah, it's definitely moving here. BIOC. So again, low flow stock, guys, 1.5 million, ripping here now, low at 3,063, now at 430, 440. Really got it going now, 5.1 million. We have GRVI. This became really bad now, but this drop here, right? Didn't keep going here. Didn't bring the volume in. Only 217,000. We'll get rid of this one. That's going to be no good there. And so Noah continues to crush it here, trying to get above 1050 there. But the volume, 11 million right now in Sonoa. So that's do they have news? Did we mention news on Sonoa?
Well, so we were just talking about that in the room. I was asking people because the only thing I saw was that they were announcing a new product line. It seems like a very weak reason for it to go, jump 87% in my mind, but that seems to be the news. So,
a product line for what? What do these guys do, by the way? I don't even know.
They seem to do dental products for product for professionals and consumer care in Switzerland. Dental care line. I don't know. It's more than that, really. But either way, it just seems like just because they've launched it doesn't mean anyone's going to buy it or it's going to work. So that's fantastic. Anyways, it's a product for root canal irrigation. Sounds lovely. But sounds great. That seems to be the news. But keep in mind, I was just looking at the stock, and if you look at this thing, its average trading volume here is like under 100,000 shares a day, right? So no wonder it's jumping so much. It would not take much volume whatsoever for this thing to move up. So I'd be really careful, right? Because it wouldn't take much for this thing to erratically move down if people
back down.
Yeah, right. If they abandon it. So
be very careful, guys. Again, you want to make your money here. I always say it on the move, right? You don't want to be taking 5,000 shares here or whatever, or chasing it here and then you're down a couple of grand. So be very, very careful. Just you could take a small amount once you see your setup, and on the move you can make a good profit, right? Depending on your risk tolerance, of course, and your account size as well. All right, with that said, guys, let's go over to community announcements. I think we have a decent list today. A couple of things here that look very good. I really like Apple. I really like Baba this morning. Even mRNA so-so, Coast and Macy's. We'll see how these are going to play out this morning.
Okay, so community announcements. Once again, we continue to wind our way through the week. Last night we had a great psychology webinar for all of our members, elite members in the webinar room. Thank you, Mike, for hosting that. And as you can see here, each week we have a slate of activity. So start with next week. How do you manage that? How can you leverage that to affect your trading decisions? So that'll be next week. On Wednesdays, we always do our psychology webinars, like I just mentioned. Mike did his last night. Next week, we're going to do a town hall. We always get very positive feedback. Then Dr. Katz will be back with us with a couple of our members talking about their trials, what they went through, how their journey affected them, and how they managed the trials and tribulations that comes with trading. So that'll be next Wednesday, August the 25th, once again at 8 o'clock in our webinar room. As Carlos mentioned a few minutes ago, we are accepting donations. And if you give us a super chat on YouTube, we'd love to see that. Thank you so much. It's not something we're looking for, but if you choose to do it, we're going to take all that money and not only donate it to charity, but Andrew's going to match it dollar for dollar. So last month we had about $500 we were able to give net to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. And this month's charity is autism, which is near and dear to all of our hearts. So hopefully you will donate generously, and we will, again, make sure your donation goes twice as far. So Like we said, let's bankrupt Andrew, right? It's been going great so far this month. We'd love to hit that $5,000 target. So keep those super chats coming. We love to see them. And thank you so much for doing so. As part of the room activities, we love to see great trades. So share your great trades with us. If you send us your trade and want it to be highlighted for a trade of the day, then use the tags there at Bear Bull Traders, at Mike B_BBT, and at Norm BBT, and the hashtags listed there. And we will enter them into the trade of the day on Twitter. We will pick from them and announce it usually at the close. Yesterday, we were so busy with activities, we didn't actually announce our trade of the day at the close, although we did post it on Twitter. So today we'll have the opportunity to see who the trade of the day was for yesterday and today. And then amongst those that are successful in their trade of the day, we will pick a trade of the week. Trade of the week is very important because that allows you to have bragging rights from here to forever. So you definitely don't want to miss on that opportunity. Give us your trades. We only ask that they're live trades, not simulator trades, but send them to us with the trade clearly marked and any commentary you want to provide, and we'd be grateful to receive it. If you want to join us in the room, we'd love to have you. We always have a lot of new members. If you're a new member, why don't you say hi in the chat room right now? And if you want to sort of give it a try, test drive, right? See if it's for you. We'd love to welcome you, and you can see if it's a good environment for you. Use the code premarket24 to get a $24 1-week trial that gives you access to our onboarding classes. And if that's, if you sort of get that and say, you know what, I love this, I think this is going to really help me in my trading, then you can join as an elite member. Use the code SUMMER40. It gives you 40% off our annual elite membership. And I see a bunch of members saying hi. So Farhad is saying hi. He's a new member. And Stefan. And who else? Drew. We got a few people here I missed. So my apologies. Yannick, were you saying, oh, you've been around for a year. It's old hat. But anyways, welcome to everybody. Pappy Chappy, I love the name. Anyways, is out there. As well as Sam is a new member and Saint K. So there you go. So a bunch of new members who said hi to us this morning. So that's fantastic. All right, with that, we got a bunch of levels to set. Let's get to it, and we'll get ready for the day. Carlos? Did I lose Carlos?
No, I'm back.
There he is.
I hit the lock screen on my keyboard and everything went blank for a second. All right, so hopefully I didn't mess anything up. But
no,
all right, here we go, guys. Let's get into it. But before we do that, Kay Bryan, thank you so much for that $5 donation, that super chat. Appreciate you. Let's bump up those numbers. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate you very, very much. With that said, guys, let's get into it this morning. We have Macy's. On here, they are up 7%, 3.5 million shares traded, and this is the only time we put Macy's on our list is when they start to give us earnings and kind of something to look forward to here. So we have it on here again. It can still be choppy. We see Macy's even have an amazing pre-market, amazing numbers, great earnings, and still be choppy. But I think it's worth watching today. Kohl's, on the other hand, I'm not liking as much. So I am going to move Kohl's down to a possible. They had earnings also. Again, these retail companies, a little bit more difficult to trade. We saw some of this earlier in the week, or was it last week? We saw Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's. They all had earnings. And again, just don't trade very well. Yeah, so Noah is crushing it, guys. Going to 11. I have a limit order out there. This thing is unbelievable. Up 100% for a new product launch that hasn't even sold yet. It's amazing how things work sometimes. All right, we'll delete Kohl's from here. I have Macy's is good. mRNA, I do like a lot. Not a lot. I like a little bit this morning, but it has been trading well. Apple, I do like a lot, and I also like Baba quite a bit here. Let's see our possibles list. We can do some more. We should at least get 2 more on our possibles list. That's Kohl's, Microsoft. That's got great volume. PFE does look good on the daily here for a possible drop. Maybe PFE today can treat us nice. Maybe it can trade well for us today. Let's put it on here. 616,000, down 2%. I like this daily and the level that we're sitting at here for either two things, either some support or a drop down lower. I think this could be nice here. Cisco's the drop is great, but not doing a whole lot, guys. Nvidia right now kind of stuck between all these levels here. Hood at the moment, you got a little bit of a breakout here. Hood will be interesting to see. Wow, Jared, my man. Showing some love from YouTube for the engineering the markets and all the positive feedback we received. Thank you so much for that $50 bomb, Jared. Appreciate you very much. Going into our helping into our little fun here, taking $50 from Andrew. He'll probably email you saying what the heck you're doing. I'm just kidding. but yeah, thank you for that very, very much.
His trading is obviously going very well, so that's fantastic.
Absolutely.
Give it back.
Absolutely. All right, guys. So here's Neo, and here we go, Billy as well. All possibles. Maybe Neo, we can move up. Let's see how Neo looks right now. Yeah, volume is very light on Neo. You know, I think that's my list right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's the list. Let's get going there. Here's Macy's. Levels for Macy's towards the bottom, highs and lows of the last 2 trading days. It's got you set there. High of the pre-market right now is sitting at 1756. 17 actually 7. No, excuse me. High of the pre-market 1985. There we go. 1985. And then above that, we do have a 2038. The low of the pre-market is 1756, but we have tons of levels down here already. I'm not going to mark anymore. You can see all the support you're getting here from the lows of the last 2 trading days. If you go across the bar, you can see on the daily how many touches we have on this already. So that's looking good. If we break out of 2038, wow, 2038 is a good level, man. We have not broken out of this in quite some time. The few times we tried there, you can see that there. But just in case, level over here over at 2109 this morning. All right, heading down, we do have mRNA again, kind of weak pre-market action right now, but I think this mRNA and PFE are both in play. They have been the last couple of days, so it's worth continuing to keep an eye on these. Right now, this is stuck between the highs and lows of the last 2 trading days. So you don't need to add a lot more levels on here. The high of the pre-market is your previous day close at 398. And the low of the pre-market sitting at 386. It is your low from yesterday, right on it. So again, you're pretty much set at the moment. We just need volume to come into this one. That's what we need. We need volume at the moment. We're not seeing that just yet. Here is Apple with amazing volume towards the top. Some levels are still pretty good here. Let's get rid of them though, because I think they're overlapping with our highs and lows from yesterday, as you see here. So towards the top, pretty good there. High of the pre-market sitting at 145. 145.66 will slam that there. Look at that great area support that you're getting there at 145.64. Towards the top, previous day close, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. But you also have this level right on here, guys. You can see this also on the daily, around 148 or so. Seems to be right there, 147.75. I'm going to mark that down. I think that's a good one to have as well. Towards the bottom, low of the pre-market, 144.21. Great area of prior resistance right on here. You can see that, right? We had a nice little run. Then we got some resistance on there. That has been support for a couple of times here in the last 2 months or so. And now that is the low of the pre-market. Let's see if we can hold. Now, if we look at our pre-market action here on the 5-minute, I do like this level, and we do have to note this down as well, because you've seen a lot of bounces from here already. So that's important. You definitely want to keep an eye on that. My camera died. Reset. Let's see if it takes. Yeah, my camera, I think when I locked the computer, my camera turned off. So here you can see this one, what I was marking. Yeah, this 144.60. You definitely want to mark that down there. I think that is a good level to have on there as well. In the pre-market, you're seeing some support off that already. So Apple is good. Let's get a level below 144.21, just in case we were to dive down here. We do have 142.57. That is a good one there as well. All right, perfect. Now heading down to BABA this morning. I think they're really in play today. Down 3.2 towards the top. Highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. Previous day close. Got a whole lot going on there. Here's the low of the pre-market right now, 164.82. We'll slam a level there. And if we were to break down from here, let's see what we got going on. We have not been down here in quite some time. Wow, we're going back to 2019, guys. This has been a while since we've been this slow on BABA. It's just crazy. So below this 164, which, by the way, low of the pre-market, you can see here on the daily, that nice area support on that 164.82. No, it's just not a coincidence that they're just bouncing from there in the pre-market low. That's just, they don't just make these things up, right? There's always something being watched there. So 151.74 is a level there. In here, you kind of have some consolidation around 160, 159. 56, and you can see that here as well. right? So that's looking pretty good. I'm going to mark that there just to have something below this 164 if we were to break down. Is Peter talking? No, I don't think
I was just being, since they couldn't see you, I was just sort of miming your voice so they felt like they had a full experience. That's all.
Beautiful thing.
Distracting everybody.
Beautiful thing. So that's it for Baba, guys. I think it looks pretty good. We're going pretty far back here to get levels on Baba, but yeah, I think they're really in play. We'll definitely keep an eye on them. And last one on my list, PFE. Again, my list is rather short this morning, but again, it's not a lot that looks overly exciting. I can't wait to see the moderators line up and see what they have on their end. PFE this morning, they are low of the pre-market, 48.35 right now. It looks like they want to break down from that, but I love that level. Even if they break down from here, it doesn't matter. You want to keep this level on here. Look at the daily here, the area of resistance, and we broke out of that nicely and down, trying to make this support here if we can hold. So you want to have that level there either way, even if the pre-market gets a little bit lower. Towards the bottom here, guys, we do have 47.75. So I'm gonna slap a level there as well. And then down here, another good one, 46.30. Towards the top, highs and lows from the last two trading days got you covered. Previous day close, doing an amazing job there. You are all set to go. So that is our list right now. Let's take a quick look at our secondary list. Coase is on here. Microsoft is on here. PFE. Actually, PFE is in both places. We move PFE up so we can get rid of it here. Cisco we have on here, could be a hit or miss, but I do like the drop. NVIDIA has, was it earnings? You mentioned? Was it earnings? Yes, earnings. Post-market earnings there, August 18. So that's on here. We have Hood as well on there. We'll see if that can trade very well. NEO is on here, starting to pick up a little bit of volume now. I do like the daily on NEO, guys, for a possible double bottom there if we can get going. And we have Billy here, also similar, not quite, but we got some support happening there as well. By BIOC, this one is 3.1, still crushing it, and we do have also Sanoa here, struggling at 11. But again, look at the run so far, guys, up 89%. All right, let's take a look at our moderators lineup, see what we have going on, what everybody else is watching this morning. So we'll resize this. As I am doing this over on YouTube, please take the time to hit that thumbs up. We appreciate you very, very much. We know that not everyone can do a donation dollar-wise, but if you can hit that thumbs up, we appreciate you just as well. Thank you so much for that. It helps us out a whole lot to get this channel growing. So let's bring this over here and see what our moderators lineup looks like today. So up towards the top, we have Thor. So Thor, he's looking at Apple, Microsoft, and the SPY. He has NEO on his secondary list, Coase and Macy's. And I agree, Coase and Macy's are more of a secondary list. I have them on my main one because there's I have Macy's only on my main one because there's really nothing else that I like. But Macy's, these retail companies are more of a secondary. Nothing interesting. He'll be watching the chat room callouts. Dima, that's for Amen. Dima will be watching Apple, NEO, and AMD. Tiffany will be watching Apple, Macy's, and Baba this morning. Mike is watching NVIDIA and Apple. Peter, still no IPOs. Wow, this is. Are we sure we have this? Is our information correct?
I don't know. Maybe my services have all been shut off, but yeah, it seems odd that we go an entire week without any IPOs. So, but I use multiple sources, and they're all reporting the same thing. Maybe this is really just the doldrums of summer, so nobody wants to IPO anything. I don't know.
Yeah, could be. Very, very interesting. I just can't remember the last time we went almost a whole week without no IPOs, no SPACs, or anything funky coming out. But yeah, cool.
I don't know. Yeah, I can remember.
Here is Jared. He's watching the SPYs, the Qs. He's also looking at the VIX, a couple of ETFs on there on the top part. NVIDIA on earnings and AMD. We didn't look at AMD today. And Peter, you didn't even say AMD today.
It's got better volume this morning than it did yesterday, but it's still not great. So, I didn't want to waste your time.
All right. So your list, by the way, we're looking at Apple, AMD, Macy's on the main list. Secondary list, we're looking at Sanoa, NVIDIA, and Billy today. Brian's coming in with his list very slim today compared to yesterday's list. He's looking at Apple, Microsoft, mRNA, and X, and Sanoa also, which continues to be up 93% right now with 15 million shares traded. That is a low flow, guys. Please be very, 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 very careful with that thing, and don't chase it. I know a lot of us are in from early on. I'm still holding some on this one here. We're talking about in the chat room. This can go up to like $15, but it has to be in your plan. You has to be in your trade book if you're going to take this trade, right? If you're just going to wing it and try to just get lucky, you will sometimes, but there'll be times where you're going to pay a very dearly price there to do that. So just be very careful. With that said, guys, I think we're pretty much all set. Peter, anything I missed that we can go over?
No, nothing new. I think, like you said, the list is relatively slim, but that's never a problem, right? We always
Right.
find opportunity. There's always something to trade. Just be patient, and patient and diligent. You'll find something.
Yep, absolutely. If it doesn't look great, don't force it. We can get something later. We can get something tomorrow, next week, next month. No problem. All right, we're just waiting for Brian to hop on, and we'll get set to go. I believe Andrew will also be joining us live if his connection is still somewhat stable there, if he's able to do that. And we will be live shortly. So as we do that, guys, if you haven't done so already, hit that thumbs up over on YouTube. Really, really appreciate it very much. What is the likes, by the way? What's the number of likes we have on YouTube? I can't see it. I usually don't have it up. But I'm going to go check.
Where are we at? 268.
Oh, my God. You're hurting my heart. Oh, you're hurting me.
Well,
Wow.
all right. You're mentioning it. It's going up now, so we appreciate that. The likes are helpful. It just helps bring awareness to the channel, and hopefully we can get more people who are, going to be able to be with us in the morning. So,
yes, absolutely. So 283 right now. If we can get that to 350, that would be amazing. Can we do that, guys? We have 641 people watching. We would love to get to 350, 315.
There we go.
Nice.
316.
Now we're cranking. There we go.
I'm going to be careful this morning. Like I said, I'm physically not feeling 100%, and so I'm going to take it easy. I do see. It looks to me like there's some good opportunities. I noticed quite a few people have Macy's on their list. Be careful. In my experience in trading Macy's, it can give you great opportunities. It can also do some very unexpected things. It's a NYSE stock, New York Stock Exchange. And that means it tends to move a little bit differently. So, again, I've had some great trades on Macy's. I've also had some very weird stop outs. So, just be aware.
Yeah. So true on Macy's. Again, I have it on my main list because the volume and everything looks great. But I know that could be such a chop fest at times. Good morning, guys. Thank you for the likes. We're at 366. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate you guys for doing that. Good morning, Brian. How you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you, guys. How you guys been doing out there?
Doing good so far. I am going to go ahead and hop off, and we will see you guys in chat. Take care, everyone. Trade safe.
Hey, Carlos. Good morning,
Hey,
Brian.
Hey, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. It's interesting morning so far.
Yes, indeed.
I had both taken yesterday. I took some TZA and SQQQ home last night. So I've actually closed out both those positions. I kind of figured the way we went out yesterday, there was going to be more downside.
Look at you. You took them home, you had the party, and you kicked them out.
And we kicked them out.
Okay.
So yeah.
I don't know how you roll.
I don't know that I'm muted, am I? Can people hear me in the room?
I can hear you.
No.
I can hear you. People are saying they can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Someone said I'm muted. Okay. Nope. That's it. So definitely look at SNOA going through 11 here.
Yeah, all good. And we can hear you on YouTube as well. So
okay, good. Awesome. So it looks like market's strengthening up a bit. As I mentioned last night, I kind of expect a bounce at some point here. This bit of a reaction to possibility for the Fed to possibly start talking about tapering, talking about talking. So I suspect that if I was going to guess how things unfold this morning, I'm going to guess maybe we get a bit of a pullback, and then you can watch the buying brigade come in. So we'll see what unfolds. Don't want to second guess things, but that's what I'm expecting will happen here. So stocks like Apple and Microsoft, like I said, could be the ones that have been strong, could be interesting. Moderna looks really weak. Yeah, and X, again, it's been strong, so I'm kind of suspecting that I'll be watching it to see if we get a bit of a pullback, then an opening range breakout. Hood could be interesting too. I kind of debated about putting up Hood.
X is in a strange zone that it might be able to hold these levels despite overall market weakness, just because they're going to still benefit from the multi-trillion-dollar infrastructure investment.
That's what I'm thinking here. So I'm going to put Hood up too here, just off on the side because I had an extra page, extra chart.
Seems Andrew's struggling with some technology. He's out there. He just doesn't have his mobile system is letting him down. So he's trying to get in here and get his microphone working. Doesn't seem to be cooperating so far this morning. So we'll see what we can do about that. He's trading from inside a Grizzly. That would be impressive if he could do that. I don't even care if he makes or loses money, but if he can actually execute a trade from inside a Grizzly, that's a darn big Grizzly.
Sort of like that fisherman that got swallowed by a whale.
Yeah, really have.
mRNA is continuing to run away here, unfortunately. I wish.
Good morning, guys. Can you hear me?
Yep. There he is.
Perfect. Yeah. How's the quality of the sound?
It's a little bit. Sounds like you're in a Grizzly.
Yeah, it is. I am inside a Grizzly. No. Sorry, it's just I kind of messed up constantly. Forget to bring that. You know what it is? It's why. The webcam. Yeah, sorry about that because I just forget to get this headphone. That's why I have the issue. So SNOA is really interesting for the breakout 11. That's nice. Thanks, Peter. Thanks, Carlos, for that. Let's see if we can get that breakout on SNOA. Yeah, I'm gonna share the screen just very quickly.
Are we under the covers with you here, Andrew? It's there's the webcam. There. Are you wearing any pants? Maybe that's the next thing to figure out.
How's that now, guys? Can you still hear me?
Yep.
I think you need some pants.
I think you should. Yeah, I think you should. Yeah, I think you could raise your camera up so we can see your face.
It's the wrong body shot.
Yeah.
Brian, I lost you. I don't know why. I can't hear you, Carlos. I can't hear.
I'm here.
We can make fun of him, and he doesn't know. Next
time. Well, no, I can. No, I can hear you guys, so I don't say anything bad.
No, perfect. Thanks. Yeah, I get it. So no webcam because I'm not in a presentable area situation right now. So please forgive me on that. But let's see how it goes. Market is selling off again. I'm back holding that TNA. That's unfortunately still AMC, AMD. Let's see what we got here. So I just shared my screen too, guys. So you should be able to switch to my screen.
AMD is popping up here. All right. Well, we got a minute and a half to the open here. I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy about anything except maybe Moderna.
You mean the stock or the vaccine? Which one?
Yeah, but I'd like another. I'd like another booster shot, please. No, I need another shot of mRNA vaccine because I've got one AstraZeneca that the U.S. doesn't recognize.
So for me, I'm actually very interested in SNOA, see if you get a pullback.
That's what I'm looking at here. Looking for a pullback, maybe. Well, it's super overvalued at this level. I think that's the challenge with mRNA. Everything has, I mean, valuation probably, if everything worked out on this, is probably worth $130 a share, is what analysts have been saying. It's just, okay, here we go. So, but there goes Noah through 11. Here we go.
All right, so the market is open. Snow on a weekly chart, we did have a run back in 450. See what it does.
Volume's picking up on it. Ooh, yeah. I'm long a little bit of it. Look at Moderna rip.
Wow, Moderna is really popping up. Apple's strong too.
Yeah, it took some Apple, a little bit of Apple long on that 145. Here we go with Sanoa.
Yeah, I was hoping to get a pullback, but no. Wow, Sanoa is just
sold. Oh, yeah, I didn't get a chance to sell. It got halted. I'm still long some Apple. I'm long Sanoa at 11.20. Hood's popping. Oh, I knew it. What did I tell you? What did I tell you? What did I tell you? I told everything is popping up.
You knew it.
I told you. I said everything's going to pop up at the open. We're going to have a bit of a pullback, and then there was going to be a pop.
You knew it, guys. Brian knew it.
Just selling some Apple here through 146. Do you need a drinking game? Yeah. All right. Still holding some Apple.
Yeah, Apple is interesting. SONA is halted, huh?
Yeah, SONA is halted. I'm holding shares through the halt. Actually, you know what? I should put some. I should see what it's going to do here. I should probably set some limit order.
No trades for me yet. Still, Moderna is popping up a little bit. No trade for me. No trades for me yet. Apple's gonna go green. Moderna, yeah, I don't like it. X. Microsoft is bouncing. Yay. I don't know. Nothing for me. I can't believe that I haven't traded anything yet. My internet also seems a little bit laggy. Not sure how my internet. I think I should have some issues with my internet. Let's see what my ping is. Oh no. Yeah, I don't. My network delay is it has some issues so far, based on what I see. Microsoft modernize a mess. No, not out of the halt yet.
No.
Changing code server. How do I change my code server? You should know that, to be honest with you. That is not great.
I'm just looking for Apple to break out here through yesterday's high, go green on the day. Oh, Amazon's gone green. Netflix, Roku green. Nvidia's just dropped like it's hot.
Oh yeah, it
And
did. It did.
AMD's gone green.
It did fix it. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, look at Moderna rip. See, it looked really super weak at the open. That's why I'm glad I didn't short it. Okay, here we go. Come on, Apple.
Okay, it did fix actually my change quarter server, and it looks like.
Okay, let's see. We're open here.
Now we're going there. SNOA.
Just selling some here. 1250, 1240 filled.
OCGM is ripping. Now my internet is working now. Haha. Thanks, T, for that. Yeah, I changed the code server. I shared my screen again, guys. It was a few. SONA 12. SONA, let's see how's the price action. Love the volume. It's doing some sort of a consolidation.
It's doing some chopping action, yeah.
Oh, let's see how it's dropping. If it holds the pullbacks or not.
Yeah, I'm out of a lot of it right now. Just holding a little bit left. See if we can get a pop here. Another run. It's maybe to 13.
I'm taking a long on it at 12.24. Just on this pullback, I'm long. I'm taking a long on it. Oh yeah, beauty. Let's see if you can go through 13. Did pop up. Let's see if you can actually hold it.
Yeah, I'm worried about it. I'm just thinking about getting out of the rest of it. I think it's still going to pop. It's just, yeah. It's trading a little crazy.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of that.
Yesterday we had something. PMCB was it? Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, it just reminds me of the way PMCB was trading. So wacky. Apple.
I'm getting back at it. Getting back at it at 12.27. I might regret doing that, but let's see if we can yeah, I'm back at it at 12:30. Let's see.
Just getting ready to get out of the rest of my apple here if it continues to drop. Going to bounce here. That was a big drop on Apple.
Yeah.
It's kind of back to my entry right now.
SNOA holding these 12. My average is at 12:32. Not great. It's either gonna go up or it's gonna flush. Let's see. Adding a little bit more on it. Let's see if we can get there to 13 this time. This bigger ask going up. Sold some at 1280. Let's see if you can get to 13. I think potentially you can go to 13.
Yeah. Just really erratic at this point. And that I'm just glad I got that nice move right off the open. I'm out of the rest of Apple.
What's the float on it?
It's a good question. $2 million.
It's
according to Peter.
Which is a good source.
X is breaking down here.
But definitely, it's very toppy above 13. Near 13 is really, really toppy. See if we can run for 13. I'm getting out of it. It looks really, really toppy. Let's see what it does. I lost money on it, so
too many wicks, too many big wicks on it.
Yeah.
It's probably going to go up, but it's just potential for loss too is pretty high.
Yeah, potential for a flush is dangerous. It was a great short. See if you can. That's definitely. I think it's gonna flush. To be honest with you. I'm taking another long on it at 1240. Small size. Be careful, guys. And this one. Small size.
It's got short some at 385.
Or 40.
Just looking for maybe 380 if we can get there. It's got to get through this low in the pre-market, which was 383. There we go. Here we go. There we go. Just going to cover some here. 382.90.
I'm getting out of completely of SNOA. It's just really, really toppy. It's dangerous. It's really dangerous. It might go through 13, but I think it's really, really dangerous right now. And my Microsoft might go green. And it might flush.
X coming down to a point where it might bounce here.
X was gapping down. Q's are weak. IWM is really weak too. What's up with IWM? Microsoft went green. What jet you traded Neo? Is Neo active? Oh yeah, Neo's a great short. SNOA is still holding. It's really toppy. I'm taking another long on SNOA at 1250.
I'm looking at
long on
Moderna.
it at
Just kidding. I'm still shorts Moderna. I'm just if it comes back to my break even, which it's gotten there a couple times, I'm going to get out of it. 385. I'm still looking for another flush here on Moderna.
See if SNOA can pop above 13, holding 12. It's just that it's so hard to trade these garbage stocks.
374. Yeah, I'd like it to get to this 380 level, and then I'll. I think I'm going to take some more off 383 here. Getting a bounce on X. I got long some X as well.
Let's see what SNOA is doing.
Get a great fill on X, but I'm X just literally bounced off yesterday's low of day. So I'm going to cover some here, 2805. Just I'm out of Moderna. I get SPY go. SPY is popping up here. TW or IWM's popping up. What are the Qs
I'm
doing?
getting out of SNOA. It's just I just kept losing money on it really bad. Fuck garbage. IWM bounced back.
Yep. Okay, the only position I have right now is X. Actually looking for 2820 here for a fill. Here we go. Filled. 2820.
Apple is bouncing back. Microsoft is a really nice pop.
I love these previous day highs and lows. They on these charts, they are almost always levels that get respected. Anyone else grab that X trade? That was right off yesterday's low.
Yeah, it was just bounced perfectly from there. Where is the volume? I mean, where is trading? SRPT.
Nice. A few people got it. Macy's is never great. Yeah. Nice, Aaron. Yeah, I'm still holding some X. We'll down to about a quarter size now, so we'll just see if See if we can break through the VWAP. That 2820 was an area where I kind of figured we'd have some resistance. Yeah, Macy's has actually been pretty good. Nice, Aaron. So we'll see what happens here. With the X.
SNOA is still doing nothing.
Dollar strength. KSS keeps popping up on the scanner. It looks like it's on a bit of a tear here. I don't know anyone's trading Coles.
KSS,
It's not a. This isn't a good place to chase it. It's right at the pre-market high right now.
So
It's probably going to have
Apple at
some
break
resistance
even,
here.
nice. SNOA 1230 is not gonna pop. Microsoft, mRNA, SNOA. I'm getting a long on SNOA again at 1230. Let's see if this time wants to go there. I'm already down on it, but yeah, this is a horrible trade. These low float stocks are just really, really tough to trade. It's just because the different crowds trading them.
People are getting jumpy about these. They taking profits quicker instead of letting
They're
them run.
much easier to, yeah, actually easier to manipulate. Let's see if you can go through 13. Or not, might not. I see it a couple of times so far, really. Definitely. But it is on a definitely on a level.
Microsoft has actually gone green on the day. It's been a kind of a choppy. It's been a bit of a chop fest to get there.
Finally, this thing went. What? Damn it!
Holy crap! Look at how fast
that?
people took profits. Yeah, people just.
It's just already. I'm still in there. I'm getting out of it. Fuck, man! It's just I'm getting out of it. This is garbage.
Yeah, it's just taking.
Fuck. I lost a lot on it. Fuck it. Garbage.
It just
and every
like
day
stone.
they're just there. Yeah. It's just so manipulating. They are so manipulating. They're bringing up them.
I just think that a lot of people are just waiting for a pop, and they're just
dumping it down.
Just dumping it. As soon as it went through 13, there was just a whole wall of sellers there.
Yeah, just really bad, man.
And everybody
I'm not gonna touch it again.
Everybody
with
just
that
hit the
volume. Bid. Yeah, with that volume, I'm actually surprised that it did like that.
I just took a bit of a long on KSS. 5420. Nice. It's breaking out. Wow, that was that's going well. Just gonna sell some here. 54.60. Look at that, it bounced right off yesterday's high.
KSS, yeah. Is there any news on it or 5% just in the last half an hour?
earnings. Just keeping an eye on X. I've still got a bit of a position there. Just selling some through 80 here. I'm going to hold the rest, see if we can get through 55 on KSS. I think we're going to go there. I got my order in already at 55. Come on. I'm waiting for you. Oops. All right. Well, we're going to get might get stopped out of X.
NVDA. No, I don't see anything that Neo was a short bounce back. SRPT is really garbage. Microsoft is garbage now. NVDA.
Patience, Richard Parker.
Patience, Richard
55.
Parker. It's gonna come.
There we go. Yeah, got it. I filled 55.
On KSS, that's nice.
Stopped out on X at the rest. Just don't like the way it looks like it's going to continue lower here. It might be putting in a double bottom. Just don't want my trade to go.
Apple. Is Pfizer active? Let's see what Pfizer is doing. Yesterday we had a really good fun on Pfizer. Pfizer is going up to its moving average.
Low.
See.
Low has gone green on the day.
AMC. Is there anything active anywhere?
Well, with SPY is going to go green on the day. SPY is right
AMC.
at yesterday's low. Yesterday's low is very close to the close of the day because we went out almost right at the low. What did I tell you? Did I not tell you that we were going to come? The buying brigade was going to come in almost right away.
Almost right away.
On that gap down. Jared may be playing some of those. I knew it. Jared may be playing some of those options. X is just X is curious. Alcoa is really sold off too. Or did they put the infrastructure bill on hold? I guess.
New is still selling off.
PFE. I was looking at PFE earlier because I was looking at Moderna. Moderna's been a bit of a dog's breakfast. Didn't quite sell off as much as I wanted it to. Nice, yeah. Look at that move on on Pfizer. It came right back up. There's another one I actually should have had. I had it on my screen at one point, and then I put Hood there instead. Pfizer has been so strong. If you look at that daily chart, it was definitely one of the ones that would be ripe for a bounce. Look at Microsoft go. Wow. The bargain hunters were out grabbing Microsoft.
Microsoft is choppy. What do you mean Microsoft?
No, sorry, you're right. Sorry, I looked at where I'm looking at KSS. I changed my Microsoft chart to KSS. You're right. I looked at the price and I thought, no, wait a sec, that's not Microsoft. Not really. I just, like I said, I had the Microsoft chart right in front of me in the corner, but I changed it to KSS because KSS kept popping up on the scanner. I still have a little bit of KSS. I still say SPY goes. SPY wants to go green. I know it's going to go green. Robinhood might break out here.
Hood is moving.
Yeah.
Hood. Robinhood. How's the volume on Robinhood? 46. Microsoft popped up. Q's went green.
Yep, SPY's gone green. There you go. Here's the buying brigade.
Apple.
A D-low. I'm long DLO. DLO has been showing up on the scanner. Is that right?
It's 920.
Okay, I'm out of the little bit of KSS that I had. Just now it's dropping. Oh, I hate the spread on DLO. I'm gonna sell it.
Oh, such a horrible day I had. I had a horrible day. Yes. Top list.
Just sold DLO 67.50.
Yeah, I see. No, it's
probably going to go to 68.
Which one?
I'm just trading DLO. It's been up on the scanner a bunch of times.
DLO.
But but I'm all out of it. The spread can get really bad sometimes, but it's definitely in an uptrend. PFE looks
Look at the-
maybe like it's trying to. What were you gonna?
I'm gonna get it long on TQQ. See if Qs want to go green. I'm gonna get a long on TQQ at 129. Looks like he wants to pop right to green.
I think Pfizer looks like it might want to try to go to 50. Get back to 50.
Is there any 920 trade? Any 920 trades?
I'm looking. Haven't seen any yet.
Getting a long on TQQ. See if he can pop it up to 130.
Yeah, it's definitely, you want to find a stock that's really trading nice smooth trend up. Macy's at some point could be a 920 trade.
Yeah, I was thinking of Macy's. What about KSS?
Yeah,
KSS could be too.
Yep, KSS is holding the 9 right now. Moving average keeps going higher. Moderna looks like it wants to break out higher. I'll be back in a minute.
I'm just getting this long on TQQ, see what it does. My average is at 129.42. Looks like he wants to go to 130. Let's see if he can do that. The 1 minute chart, TQQ. And C is down, huh? 5%.
All right, sorry guys, I had to take an allergy pill. I don't know what I'm getting allergic reaction to.
It's profit. I know. When you are making too much profit, it's making.
I guess I don't know. It's weird. Oh, look at X bounce back there. Jeez, what a
piece of TQQ and so.
What a piece of crap.
Piece of crap. I think a little bit more on TQQ at 129.34. See if we can get to 130. Looks like Apple is bouncing back. Might.
I'm just looking at X and AA both turned around at the same time. I don't know what level that was. X is back at the VWAP. Same with AA.
Oh, TQQ is popping higher.
Yeah. SPY is definitely in the green now. QQs are going. Yeah, it's probably gonna go green. CLF, what's Cliff's doing? Probably NUE is probably bouncing as well here.
Adding a little bit more on TQQ here at 129.40. See if you can. I think if the Q's gonna go green. See if TQQ goes to 130. Brian went again to get a peel or something, huh?
No,
you
I'm
still here?
still, yeah, I'm still here. I'm just looking at. I'm just looking at what the hell's going on here.
Yes, anyway.
Yeah, that SONA was horrible. I'm just looking
Garbage.
at. Yeah, let's look at PFE. Maybe this could be a 920 trade here.
So anyway, I lost a lot on it. I got to start. I
No,
had a couple of flush
yeah.
on it. I just don't want to look at it again. Really, it's just
I'm looking.
this.
Yeah,
This is the. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm just looking at Pfizer for a 920 trade here. So, someone in the room pointed it out. Justin and Teal. It's possible. Let's see if it can get down to that level. Be looking at about a 40.
Gonna go green. Come on, TQQ, you can go green. If Apple can, you can as well.
SPYs were right now flat on the day. So we really didn't get much of we didn't get that, needed that a little bit more of a pullback on Pfizer.
Yeah, no, it almost hit 20.
Well, you know, where it bounced was yesterday's low.
I think TQQ is gonna go.
Yeah, it came down almost to yesterday's low and bounced off there instead of going to the 20 moving average, which was just below it.
Nice. Well, Thor is in TQQ too, so that's a relief.
Oh, good. Yeah, we'll see.
Come on, 130. Come on. Oh, yes. Selling some here. Yeah, it's so easy to make money on this stuff. Why did I lost everything I had on this SNOA? So when the US just making so easy pattern on these high float stocks. Next time there's a low float stock on the watch list, I'm gonna leave.
Yeah, I think I got just kind of lucky on that. Just had that nice pop, and then I just decided probably not to look at it.
Come on, TQQ, hold the previous day close.
Follow your book.
Sometimes, well, the volume was really good in there, and just a piece of garbage. It's just market makers and manipulated. Did you see how they bring it to 13 and then they dump millions of shares on me? Bastards. Pfizer just did the 920 KS. Doesn't give us a pullback, huh?
No.
I think Pfizer just almost came down to that. see if TQQ can stay above that. My stop loss is now at the break even. So I'm really keen. I'm interested to see if we actually can hold.
Yeah, see if this this pullback's an ABCD pattern. KSS still going higher. Pfizer's right back up to that was that little pullback on Pfizer was a good entry. Would have been a good entry.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking at
I
it.
think,
It's just really.
yeah, I think KSS on a 56. I'm going to take a long 55.80.
TQQ. TQQ.
Here we go on KSS.
Yeah, definitely gonna go to 56.
Yeah, just I've got an order in here, 55.99. It's getting pretty extended. It's no big ask.
Santush traded Macy's. Nice.
Come on.
Yeah, really nice getting back. What is Macy's doing? Macy's could be a 920 trade or no? No, there's just no pullback.
Not yet.
See if TQQ can go green. Apple is ripping higher, so hopefully TQQ also goes up. How's people on YouTube doing? Thank you so much for all the donations. How much donation we had so far? I think I should start a fund for myself on donation. Oh, Jared donated $50. Thank you so much, Jared. I think I should start a fund for myself. No, Andrew's lost on the loaf of garbage stocks.
Low folk garbage.
Let's see if TQQ saves me or not.
Sanoa might pop again here. Volume's
Don't
kind
say that, Brian, please. Please.
Okay.
It's all your fault putting this one. It's all your fault.
There you go. Filled on KSS. 55.99.
TQQ is still running.
Yeah, it's still going.
That's good. I'm still holding. Yeah, I love TQQ. Yeah. I mean, I made good profit on it. Not enough to save me from the mess that I was, but Thor, I told you, because Thor, you're reading the price action on the SPY and Qs really well. You just trade the leverage ones. They're awesome for that. To be honest with you, the reason that I took TQQ was because I was watching Apple and I realized Apple is really making a really nice, breakout. So I decided to trade instead of TQQ.
Yeah, I traded TQQ through options. Just got a nice move on that. There you go. Let's see. Thor always killing it with the trade here. Nice one.
Very nice.
Yeah.
See what TQQ Macy's, no love, no pullback. KSS, no pullback.
Yeah. It just keeps following the 9 moving average up here. Jeez. We might be getting into a time of day where we might see a better pullback on KSS now. Apple's trying to go green again. Yeah, X and AA have been trading horribly.
So far,
Not
TQQ has
surprising.
been really nice. I
Not
would expect
surprising.
if TQQ wants to go to 2 days ago low.
All right. Well, I'm just flat right now on everything. SPY is going to continue to grind higher probably.
What's wrong with this IWM? Come on. IWM, get your shit together. Get your shit together. 2,000 companies, they can't do what Apple is doing. They're all just pure debt. It's 2,000 companies. Just all garbage companies down there.
A lot of financials, regional stuff, which of course interest
Small
rates.
bankrupt banks.
Yeah, it's interesting. The dollar. I've been watching the dollar. The dollar continues to strengthen here. We've got another update on the dollar. UUP is up again. TLT is up again, which means yields are down yet again. It's kind of funny, when yields drop, you don't expect the dollar to strengthen. But I guess it's still one of at least the U.S. doesn't have negative interest rates yet. Look at that! I told you, yeah.
That would be
Sanoa's.
cool if you can get that.
You pay you to hold money. Oxy's really starting to break down here. Okay, so KSS is kind of getting toppy here. So let's look to see if we get a bit of a pullback here to if it loses a 9 moving average, then we can watch sort of this 55 level. What about Macy's? Macy's is getting a bit toppy here at the 9 moving average as well. Look at that. XLE is on a highway to hell. Energy is just getting destroyed. So I know Sano was, suckered some people in and then dropped like a stone again.
Today is one of those days that I wish I wasn't born. Anyways, this TQQ is still holding. I might hold this. I still have a lead of TQQ. Might actually hold it.
Coles and Macy's still have not lost the 9 moving average. Oxy's dropping some more. Looks like SPY's gone red again. I took Apple off my screen. Let's see what it's doing. Not really. Apple's still holding the 9 moving average. The 20 is down around 45.60. Plus, it's not really like if you compare the chart of Apple to the chart of KSS or Macy's. I mean, both KSS and Macy's have just been strong almost right from the open. Just continual uptrend. Whereas Apple was, it was a real chop fest until about 10:10 when it started to move up. So, the chart of KSS and the chart of M are charts that you like to do the 920 trades off of because you know that there's lots of buying interest. With Apple, it's been a bit of a struggle to move up. So maybe the buying, there isn't as much buying pressure on a pullback. Because really, we're trading a pullback here. So I'm watching KSS. It does look like it's going to break through. Same with Macy's. We're kind of both rolling over here now. Here we go.
Macy's for 920 trade or
yeah, Macy's or KSS. They're pretty much trading the same. They're trading the same. Their charts look almost identical.
Same people are buying, selling them, huh?
I don't know what's going on. Yeah. I'm just watching KSS.
So, yeah.
I'm watching Macy's. Yeah.
Same as me. I'm going to watch
we'll see
Macy's.
If
I like the volume more on Macy's.
Yeah.
Getting ready for a 920 trade.
Took a long
Getting
on
ready
Macy's.
For a 920.
I'm long Macy's at 2052.
Too early. Too early, Brian. Wait.
I don't know. I think it's.
Wait.
Well, it might drop a bit more.
I'm gonna get a 220.40, I think. Wait. I'm gonna wait for Macy's at 2040.
Yeah, Coles is already bouncing. KSS didn't really get to down to the 20. I'm in at 2053.
Come on, Macy's. Come on. 2038, 2040.
sold some at 2062. I just don't feel like there's the same level of enthusiastic buying here. Cisco's showing up on the scanner. Microsoft's still going.
Yeah, Cisco was showing the Macy's. I'm still hoping the Macy's can get what's the 20 moving average hasn't got it yet. You got a good entry on it. I couldn't get it on Macy's.
Okay, I'm gonna sell some here at 72. $20.70 filled. SPY's kind of rolling over a bit here. Same with the Qs. They look like they've maybe put in a double top here. IWM's fading again. Let's see if we can get to 2080 on Macy's. Feels a little heavy here. And plus Macy's is never a stock that moves a ton. I don't like the way the indexes are looking here.
They're rolling over. IWM is down again.
Yeah.
Really bad.
Yeah.
Macy's. I'm still hoping to get an entry on Macy's. No. TQQ. Still doing some stuff. One of those days that I wish I was not a trader.
You wish you'd stayed in bed.
100%. Especially that it's so early here in Alaska.
All right, well, I'm out of the rest of Macy's here. Flat on the trade. So it's just indexes aren't helping here. So it's getting kind of everything's gone back into the red. What's going on? Netflix is still green on the day. Roku's green. Amazon's green. What do we sound? Looks like we're going back into lockdown. What's Peloton doing? That's another lockdown trade. Peloton's rolling over.
How's Zoom doing?
Zoom's down too. Beyond the Meat is down. Yeah, Zoom's dropping.
You know, I hope you understand that it's not beyond the meat. It's beyond meat.
Oh.
People should pronounce this stock properly. TQQ is coming back to my break-even point.
Let's see, what else have we got going on? Hood's a dog's breakfast.
Macy's didn't get any 920 trade. Seems like more like a 715 trade, not 920. Just bouncing back from.
No, it got close. Yeah, the Chinese stocks just keep dropping. I mean, when Jack Ma kind of disappeared for a while, and they whacked him with, and then what was the next? Was the as soon as they started talking about the education stocks, I really kind of thinking I really should. I knew they were no touch at that point.
You knew it.
I knew it. I should have, but I didn't.
So, Baba is down again, huh?
Yeah, I mean, you could have shorted any of those names: Baba, Baidu, Billy, K-Web, JD. Oh, just a friggin' disaster.
Baba is underperforming treasury bills. Can you believe that?
Yeah. No, KSS finally did a 920 trade.
I'm getting out of my TQQ, guys. I'm getting stopped down on TQQ at the break-even point.
Look at that. KSS finally did a 920 trade. Oh, look at them. We were going to go anyway. Dagnammit. Had to do one more pullback.
This is it, guys. This is the end of capitalism. IWM broke 200 moving averages. 2 moving averages, and it's probably going to keep going down.
Yeah, IWM
this is
is at the lower part of its trading range where it's been for months.
This is it. X is down.
Apple's not trading very well today. Airbnb is down quite a bit.
You tell me what is trading well today. Except that TQQ, that was a nice trade.
Yeah, I had a nice run on that one.
Else.
mRNA is finally breaking down. Nate, it must be time for Nate to buy UPST again here. He's got that cash hoard.
$9.20 on Pfizer. So except TQQ, that turned out to be a really good trade for me, but I'm negative thanks to SNOA, really bad. TNA, I'm still back holding.
Yeah, Netflix was a nice mover today. Same with Amazon's been. What does Amazon look like on a daily? Dang, I was gonna.
Netflix was strong. Amazon had a gap down. What was that about? Was it the earning or something?
Well, no, it's been getting. It was earnings related. Jesus, what's going on here?
Pfizer 920 trade yesterday was a really nice 920 trade on Pfizer. Let's see if you can get another one on it. Yeah, I don't like it. It doesn't seem very strong. It does touch the 920 moving average, but it really hasn't really
No, and
got a
the
really
9
nice
and the
move.
20.
It was red, and then
Yeah, just if you look at the moving averages, they're pretty. By now, they're because it's been flattening out. It's pretty tight, so you don't really have a great risk to reward. And Pfizer hasn't made a nice sort of clean move like Macy's and KSS did. It's been a little more choppy. See, when you get a nice move being made up like Macy's and KSS, you get a pretty decent gap between the 9 and the 20. So when you do get a bit of a pullback there, you can get a pretty decent risk to reward. But with Pfizer, it's just so narrow now because Pfizer didn't trade as cleanly to the upside. Just really surprised how much X has pulled back here. Might not be a bad place to take a swing trade.
swing trade on what?
On X. Look at KSS is breaking to a new high here. Same with Macy's. And what is that? Retail. Let's just take a quick look here. Kind of curious to know what the what sectors look like today.
And the
Utilities, consumer defensive, healthcare up. Thing that's taken the biggest hit today is the materials and the energy sector again. Probably a reflection of strong dollar in part.
yeah, US dollars and 1.28 of that. All right, guys, I gotta go, unfortunately, because I have to catch a plane. I had a really bad day, thanks to our buddy SNOA. But it is what it is. We're gonna get another day to survive, and this was a really good reminder of really staying away from these low float stocks. Like the TQQ trade was just so nice and so beautiful from 129 to 130.50. It was just a nice trade within our within my trade book. But these low float stocks like SNOA is like at 986 now. It's just unbelievable how they are manipulating these stocks. Anyways, so I have to unfortunately cancel the mentorship session today because I'm flying today, and I'll make it up next week to you guys. Thank you so much. Thanks, Brian, and see you soon, guys.
Yeah. Okay. See ya. Good flight. Safe travels. So you're going to the Galapagos now? It's in Ecuador. You guys all over the place. I want to go to Egypt. I have this I have this desire to see. I've never been in that area. Yeah, is it? I don't know. Yeah, I know. I do want to. It's a long flight from the West Coast. Yeah. Well, I think they're pretty. It's pretty safe. I'd probably be inclined if I was going to go to Egypt. I'd probably be inclined to go to a and use a like G Adventures or something. Do more of an organized thing. I don't usually. I've never done one of those, but kind of feel like I'd feel a little maybe safer in a. Although I know Egypt's pretty safe. The drag thing about traveling is everywhere you go, every time you skip a country, they want a PCA, yeah, whatever you want to call it, whatever you call it, PCR test. So every time you hop a country, it's $200. Is that right? Yeah, in Tepid Travel, there's G Adventures. ATVI is really breaking out here. It's popping them up on the scanner here. Too late to take a trade on that. It's already broken through 84. 84.10 is yesterday's high. So there's going to probably be some resistance there. So I'm not going to chase that. All right. Yeah. Well, if you look at both KSS and Macy's, they literally, the charts look really similar. And since about 10:15, 10:20, they've really just been going sideways. NVIDIA popping again here, maybe. It looks like the Qs are trying to hold, maybe putting in a bit of some bottoming action here. AMD rolling over. What's NVIDIA doing? NVIDIA looks a little toppy there. Netflix is still holding on, eh? Amazon's dropping. That's a good question. It could be. I mean, the problem with the Chinese stocks is, you can look at them from a valuation perspective, but I think there's just a lot of inherent risk in them because the Chinese government just doesn't want to doesn't seem to want to lighten up on their chatter about regulating everything there. So I mean, there's just like headline risk. Who knows what they're going to come out with, and they seemingly don't care about what the stock prices of these different companies are. It's more about command and control, and they could come out with another major announcement tomorrow, and stocks will get whacked again. So I think people are there's just no buyers, no interest in buying, and people that are invested are just dumping their shares. So yeah, they could be, you could say they're oversold, but a lot of risk too. You'd like to think that they were. I mean, if you were a really long-term holder or investor. I've played. You could take a position, like build a little bit of a position. Okay, guys. Well, it's 10:50. Wow, energy is just getting destroyed. I'm just looking at the chart of Oxy. It's just horrible. Yeah, everything's kind of flattening out here. Maybe SPY is going to take another leg down. So everyone out on YouTube, it wasn't actually a bad day. I mean, Sanoa was pretty tough if you didn't just catch that pop at the open, but there were some good trading opportunities for sure. So, hey, Jared. Jared's coming on. Here's ATV,
YOLO.
just did a big pop. So everybody on YouTube, I think we're gonna call it a day here. Macy's and Cole certainly gave some great opportunities to trade. Yeah, so definitely could have been a green day if you just stayed away from trading Sanoa too much. How did you do, Jared?
Did pretty well. Traded
Good.
AMD a few times. I scalped Baba a few times, and the rest of it, I'm just kind of monitoring the index ETFs for some signals in either direction.
Cool. Yeah, so everyone out on YouTube, thanks for joining us again today. We'll be back again tomorrow. You do your engineering the markets every morning at 8.
Not
Jared?
on Fridays.
Not on Fridays, but we will, as usual, have the pre-market show at, I can see X is trying to break through the 9 here. So it could be putting in a bottoming pattern on X. So, so we'll be on at 8:30, taking you through the pre-market show with Carlos and Peter, since Norm's been on vacation. And then trading the market open on the last day of the week tomorrow. So hope everyone had a green day. Thanks again. Thanks for joining us. There's your opportunity to join us in the chat room without the delay that you get when you're watching us on YouTube. $24 for 1 week to give us a try. So, and always appreciate the likes and subscribe so you get notified when we're on every morning. Thanks again for joining us. Hope you all have a good rest of the day. Bye for now.
Bye, everybody.